Hello guys and girls, welcome back! Did the onslaught of superhero movies or larger-than-life commercial movies leave you craving for something a bit different? What if there's something different that puts a smile on your face? Would you be ready for a walk back in time? Then, I would suggest watching Forrest Gump. Let me walk you through Forrest Gump. This 1994 American comedy drama is about the titular character played by Tom Hanks. It is based on a novel by the same name in 1986. The movie is about the slow-witted Forrest and his adventures. Throughout his journey of life, there is a thin backdrop of unrequited love. Forrest, in spite of his shortcomings and smartness, is an eternal optimist. He always sees the brighter side of life, or rather, the task in hand, than what is happening around. Young Forrest grows up fatherless. He is not just raised by his mother, but also deeply influenced by her thoughts and random philosophies. His mother, played by Sally Field, is a woman of many words, and her random philosophies leave the audience divided. No matter how you perceive her philosophies, profound or lame, they are hilarious nonetheless. Forrest starts his narration by quoting his mom. Life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. She loves him unconditionally and would go to any extremes to make sure he is treated normally. Looked down by the school teachers, townspeople, and bullied by other boys, he discovers his passion for running. What started as an escape from bullying soon turns up as a passion, which earns him an entry into college and a place in the football team. He ends up joining the army. The depiction of his days in the army and his weird friendship with Baba are just hilarious. Baba, played by Mykelti Williamson, is way more eccentric than Forrest and makes Forrest look like a perfectly normal person in comparison. Baba knows only one thing: shrimps. His non-stop runs of shrimps would leave you chuckling. You know, it is that kind of humor that doesn't make you laugh out loud, but that makes you chuckle quietly for many minutes. There is a never dull moment in the army. Baba's dream is to have a shrimp boat and build shrimp business with Forrest after serving the army. Baba is a classic meme material. A unique bond develops between Forrest and Lieutenant Danny, played by Gary Sinise, continues till the end of the movie. Baba dies in Vietnam War, and Lieutenant Danny loses his legs and hates Forrest for saving him, but thanks him eventually. On return from war, Forrest picks up ping pong and gets so good at it that he becomes the face of USA diplomacy with the Chinese, which gets termed as ping pong diplomacy. After serving the army, true to his words to Baba, Forrest buys a shrimp boat with Lieutenant Danny as his partner, and they make a disastrous start. After an act of daredevilry during a cyclone, their boat emerged as the only surviving boat at the end of the cyclone. Being the only boat to fish shrimps, they make a fortune, and from there, there is no looking back. He shares Baba's shares of profit with Baba's family. Through every stage of his life, there is always the angle of love. Forrest meets Jenny on the first day of his new school in the school bus. Their bond starts there and continues till Jenny's death. Jenny grows up with a sexually abusive father and finds solace in Forrest's innocence. Forrest loves her, but Jenny, played by Robin Wright, never reciprocates his love. She becomes a junkie and drug addict and gets drawn into a hippie lifestyle. After Forrest returns from the army, they meet briefly, but Jenny continues her journey as a hippie. After many years, one fine day, Jenny appears at Forrest's doorsteps, just like that. They live together for a few days happily. These days, Forrest narrates as the happiest days of his life. One night, they make love, and the next morning, Jenny vanishes just like that. A heartbroken Forrest suddenly rediscovers his passion for running and starts running like a maniac for years together. Till one fine day, when he suddenly decides to stop running just like that. He then meets Jenny years later and learns that Jenny is raising his son. They get married, and then Jenny dies of a mysterious disease. A bittersweet ending. Forrest Gump set the box office on fire when it was released in 1994, with collections next only to The Lion King. It went on to win 6 Academy Awards for the Best Film, Director, Actor, Special Effects, Adapted Screenplay, and Editing. The standout effects was the portrayal of Gary Sinise Lieutenant Danny as a war veteran without legs. Also for the effects that showed Forrest's character incorporated in the historical archives. Forrest is shown as influencing a lot on real-life events. As a young Forrest, he is shown as the inspiration behind Elvis Presley's signature dance move. As an adult, he is shown as influencing John Lennon for the song Imagine, and also unwittingly exposing the Watergate scandal. Forrest is also shown as investing into some kind of fruit company called Apple.
Wow.
This review is not complete without talking about Tom Hanks. Forrest doesn't have many shades and emotions to display, but the subtlety in which Tom Hanks plays the role by bringing in finer nuances is something that cannot be played by someone else. There are many scenes that deserve mention. In one scene, Cherry says, "Look at you, Forrest," and he looks at himself. In another instance, when a wounded soldier tells him how to play ping pong, he says, "Never ever take your eye off the ball." And that's exactly what he does. He never blinks while playing ping pong ever again. The way he follows the order of drill sergeant in the training camp will leave you in splits. Forrest Gump is a movie that paints a picture much beyond its canvas. There had been many movies with the spirit of Forrest Gump, but no direct adaptation. I would love to see as many movies as I can with the spirit of Forrest, but a remake of Forrest Gump is not something that I fancy. Adapting the story is one thing, but recreating a screenplay is something else. I'm not a fan of the latter. That's it for now, friends. I'll come back with my next review. If you liked the video, please give a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Bye bye!